Well, this is Big Pontiac of the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I'm going to start off wondering why. Why didn't the Bears go for two? You had momentum. The game is in your hands, and you don't go for two when you have the momentum. That I didn't understand. And the last interception, was really who was he throwing it to? I made a bunch of it, and it's funny. The NFL didn't push any of my videos. They pushed some of my last couple videos. They had pushed like a motherfucker, but they did not push the videos today, which is interesting. All about football, but again, I'm showing anybody watch the Texas game. Stroud is their flunky. I mean, this dude will just he'll get a ball up in a minute. They say fumble is part of your game plan this week, so he definitely goes around. Like I made a video, he has dramatic turnovers every time. Like every time his turnovers are dramatic. So we see that he is one of their stooges, and his job is just turn the ball over. Give you a couple solid games, but for the most part, just turn the ball over. Really, just like last week, they were lucky. Their defense. Hey, what's up, PJ? Their defense is what saved them. But like PJ, I was just saying, why didn't the Bears go for two when they had the momentum? That shows you they didn't want to win. Why didn't they go for two when they had the momentum? You get the touchdown, you go for two. It was 18 seconds left. Why didn't they go for two? That to me made no sense. You had them on their heels. You had them on their heels. And then running the sweeps, it made no sense when they ran, what was it, second down and ran a sweep, or it was first down. That was a horrible call to lose yardage on, when you've been killing them inside all game. So why run that sweep? That was another bad call that didn't make a lot of sense to me. But the biggest call was, why not go for two? Why not go for two? Now I picked the Bears, and I'll break down. I went 3-1. I went 3-1 this week. I won the Broncos, I won the Seahawks, and I won the Patriots. I went 3-1. Knew they was here for build up for the fans and let them down. And I thought the Mikowski thing, and it's interesting. She highlighted the M. That's something I thought about tonight. Mikowski, her daddy was Hallis, but yet they put a big giant M for Mikowski instead of putting the H for Hallis, which I thought was kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, that Bo, yeah. When did he get hurt? I watched the whole game. I don't remember him getting hurt. Yeah, so now he's supposed to have a broken ankle. It was like number 86 that went out. Was that Texans guy? How did he get hurt? He just run the end zone and he grabs his calf. All of a sudden, he got a calf injury. He can't come back and play. I thought that was very suspect. But I did not see Bo Nix get hurt last night. And I watched the game. So that one was one that I was like, okay, so you giving it up now. you just really giving it up. Oh. They say at the end of the game, okay, at the end of the game. I guess I missed that motherfucker. Man, right here, y'all, it is -2 out in this motherfucker. -2? What is the wind chill? Oh, it's -2 and it feels like -38. Them niggas was out there protesting and shit again today. So I wasn't going to be out there with them. But yeah, so I missed that play. The end of the game, okay, I missed that play. I definitely missed that play. So I don't know, y'all. The Chicago had the game. And again, I don't know why they didn't go. I don't know why they didn't go for two after getting that touchdown. And that was, I'll tell you, that was a bullet he threw. That was a hell of a pass he threw to get the touchdown. To turn around, and set his feet and then rocket it. Too cold, yeah. Oh yeah, it's too cold to be out there protesting. My man Jonathan Mason, he's out there protesting, and it is too motherfucking cold out there. To be fighting the power and shit. There's no way I'd be out there fighting the power on a day like the day. All week it's supposed to be cold in the motherfucker all week. It's going to be cold again tomorrow. What was I just looking at? What is this thing? It's cold as fuck right now. Let's see. It's supposed to be, check this out. This is our nightly temperature. So right now it's -2. Feels like -38. But 2 a.m. -5, -7, -7. When I get up and play pickleball, it's gonna be -6. -6 when I get up in the morning, because I'm gonna go play pickleball. And so it's only supposed to get a high of, yes, let's say a +3, but this, I'm looking at this chart, and this chart ain't saying no positive. So say it's supposed to be a high of +3, then 11. The good thing is, I think I'm gonna wear one of my fur coats tomorrow. So that's the good thing about it. I can, when it gets cold like this, I can bust them fur coats out. Vanetta, what's happening? It's cold in Mississippi. It's cold up here. I mean, it's that real cold. It's that real deal cold. Says it's -2 with a wind chill factor of 38. And that's like, because I smoke weed outside. I mean, I might have to light the candles and smoke something in here, but I'm feeling pretty good, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to smoke it now. But yeah, it's when I go outside, it's full hat and gloves because I smoke in front of my house and shit. Because I take drops and shit for the house, but I don't know if I. While I'm talking, if I need some more inspiration, I might hit one, but I doubt it. And what does this say? Burnsville -3. Yeah. Yeah, so it's colder than the motherfucker outside. It's really, really cold. It's been cold all day. And it's kind of snowing a little bit too. You saw it was like lightly snowing in Chicago. It's doing the same thing here. We were supposed to get them light flurries, but it's been flurrying all day. Not really accumulating. Like Friday, it accumulated pretty nasty. It got pretty heavy Friday. We was out and that shit like it was light snow, but that shit light snows for long enough, that shit causes problems. Yesterday was okay. It wasn't too bad. I was hanging out with my mother yesterday, taking her to do her chores, and it wasn't bad. I am contemplating going to the garage now to puff. You know why? Like my wife, well, my wife don't ever really get high. She go smoke a cigarette or something every blue moon, but she'll go in the garage. But she got stopped, and the motherfucker asked her if she was smoking weed. And I told my wife, it was straight up, they ask you that just because you're black. They was like, it smells like weed in your car. So now I don't smoke in the garage just so her car don't smell like weed. My car don't either. I ain't never smoked in either car. So, hey, Big Stank, thanks for joining. So, but I usually go outside in the front. But right now I'm on them drops. And them drops, I'm telling you, them motherfuckers last for hours. They have you right for hours. It's mother some shit that I got. Because I brought this just in case. This is what I picked up in Michigan about a month ago when I went. So, but and I bought this little one hitter. Yeah, I like this little motherfuckers. Joints are this thing here, and then you can pack this with snow too. You can put snow in it. It really, but the smoke is not intense in this, and this is why when I saw it, I was like, yeah, now it doesn't. This doesn't come loose, but if you wear a screen, and you put some juice in here to clean them, it's not too hard to clean. But I like this. I grew up with shit like this. I used to. I used to carry a little bag, a little pouch. I've always carried little pouches and shit. And I carried a little pouch around school that had something like this in it. Was it plastic? I think it was just black glass, but I carried this around. And I remember my basketball coach came up and like, what you got in here? And he felt the bong and shit, but again, they couldn't search us like that. But it was my little bong. I carried in my little pouch. I had a leather little pouch. But yeah, and I got all these big bongs, but they be too harsh. And that little one ain't that harsh. So the next job is to break down all the possibilities. So that's what I had really. Well, I had in some scenarios. I guess. Let's see. I can erase this one because I did a list of scenarios, and that one can go. That one can go. This one, and we know. Let me see. Let me see where's my other better chart. Yeah, the ones I was really liking the Broncos, the Pats, Bears, but we see that's eliminated. Broncos, Bears is eliminated. Broncos, Seattle, Pats, Seattle. And the Bills, Rams is, but we could have the Rams and Broncos, which I say nah. Right now, I want to lean towards Yeah, right now I would just say Rams Pats right now, and we've had that in the past as well. I mean, we've had Pats Seattle and we had Pats Rams. So let's go. So I would say Broncos is gonna lose. Broncos is out. Broncos and Pats. Yeah, the Broncos is out. We got Seattle, and then we got Rams. And so we know the Pats is moving through. They say Knicks is hurt. The Pats is definitely moving through. And so we've seen two scenarios. We've seen the Pats and Seattle, and we've seen the Pats and the Rams. I think twice. Pats and Rams twice, didn't we? See Pats and Rams. So looking at here, I am saying it's probably going to be. I would just say Seattle probably has a slightly better defense than the Rams do. That would be my only pause, because I'm right now I'm picking the Pats over the Broncos. Definitely the Pats over the Broncos, and maybe I'll come by because right now I'm leaning towards the Rams. I'm leaning towards the Rams right now. Looking at the scenarios, the Broncos are done, and I I I, I mean I'm just trying to like look at now. We know a replay of the Pats Rams is going to be a controversial call at the end. If they replay that game, that's probably how that's going to go. But if we go Pats Rams, that they beat what they beat the Rams twice on field goals, wasn't it? When they won, didn't they beat them twice on field goals? So we know that's going to be a short game. So if it's Pats in Seattle, we know it's going to be something at the end of the game. If it's Pats Rams, it's going to be a field goal. It's going to be a field goal. So if we see Pats in Seattle, it's going to be a last play scenario. So that's what we have to put down. But that's my picks right now. Right now, I got the Pats. I would say right now, and then maybe I'll come back a little later in the week and change it. But right now, I'm saying Pats, and I'm thinking Rams too. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. Maybe a little research is done because I could see Seattle getting in that spot. I would say Rams. I would say Seattle is a better team, and so and I kind of when I didn't roll with Seattle. So I don't know. Looking at it right now, and maybe yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it could be Seattle. I think Seattle has the overall better team. Um, but yeah, yeah, it's funny. Every time I scratch out one, I end up my original pick. So I think I'm gonna go back Rams. I'm gonna go back Pat Rams. That's who I'm gonna go back to. And Stidham played for the Pats. Oh, okay. Let's see. Stidham has a Nick Foles moment. They say Pats don't do good against backup quarterbacks. Come in. What's up?
Good night.
You going to bed, or you just gonna talk on the phone?
Well, I just want to talk to anyone.
You want to say hello?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Seattle should get in there. They're dangerous. I, I don't know. I am kind of twisted and turned because I don't know. My initial thing is Rams, but that could be off seeing tonight. I've been kind of rolling with Seattle. I just Donaldson and the way they make him choke is kind of hard. So uh, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna talk and see how I'm feeling. My initial because I'm kind of I have to admit looking at tonight's game is why I'm picking the Rams. The Rams aren't as solid both ways. I think Seattle is a little more solid. I don't know. I think the Bears gave the game away more than they lost. I think they really did. I think they gave the game away. Again, why don't you go for two? You've got all the momentum on you, and why don't you go for two? That's what I didn't understand. It's like, why didn't they go for two when they had the momentum? I mean, if you're going to go overtime, that's just as much of a chance. But you've got the momentum. You've got them on their heels. You've got an offensive genius coordinator, and you telling me you can't figure out a play to win this thing, and you kick a field goal to tie to go in overtime? That didn't make sense to me. You just got them. You have a chance to win it right here. You've got momentum. Why not go on that momentum? They played it safe. And then Williams, just threw a very erratic pass. The pass was erratic. That pass, again, that was a very erratic pass. That pass made no sense. It just didn't make sense. It was two people back there. Like it was. I wanted to make a video, early game of Stroud. He threw. It was five people. He threw a pass through five people. Tell me that makes sense to throw it into that kind of coverage. And Stroud is like Towns, and you know how Towns, I always get on Towns falling. That's Stroud. Stroud is going to be their clown in the NFL. They're going to be that clown. That's Stroud right there. I mean, the mistakes he made. Now that I know it was probably fake posts, but a lot of posts saying he's being investigated because he really should. I mean, some of them plays he made no sense. The fumbles, the interceptions, like one interception. I think the one interception, the last one he threw was five people down there. So yeah, definitely the fall guy. So, gosh, let me try it again. I'm gonna be going back and forth with scenarios. My scenario still is the same. If it's the Rams, it's gonna be a field goal. If it's Seattle, it's gonna be a last minute play. That's my feeling right now. So, um, just I don't know. I think yeah I got to get my feelings out of what I just watched because Seattle has the better team. So I think right now I'm gonna go with Seattle to win. Yeah, I think so. And I'm thinking Pats in Seattle. And I can go over scenarios, looking at different scenarios. Because again, the Pats had lost and they threw that stupid ass interception. It still today doesn't make sense. Look at this, no shake in it. This is a month old and still really no shake. Just big buds. Now my other shit is all shake. What? Oh, okay. So it was fun. A fun day. 2 fun days of football, and then basketball tomorrow. But I'm playing pickleball in the morning. I'm gonna be kind of moving and grooving all day tomorrow. So the first game comes on, I think 12 my time, but I've got a little hustling to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna do that. I will say this. I will say this. It's funny, like they brought that Nazi here, and roughed up the Nazi. But I'll say this about them bringing the white supremacists that had to speak. Everybody has a right to speak without being attacked. Like some brother helped him out, which was interesting. The brother was up there with him, and they was, it was cold as fuck yesterday. And they squirting him with squirt guns, throwing snowballs. But so you're protesting fascism, but just because somebody else speaks that's not part of them, they get attacked by the protesters that's protesting fascism. Now, make that make sense. That makes no sense to me. I don't give a fuck who they are. They have every right to say what the fuck they want to say without being bothered, without being harassed. Because to me, that was a probe. You know, the probe is you go see what the fuck is going on. What if they bring 2,000 white supremacists here to have a rally? They come in numbers. Because I think I might have mentioned this the other day, I saw a Kentucky license plate that said, go get them, or some shit like that. Or sick them. It said some shit like that, go get them or sick them. And so what if they bring a large numbers, and then you got the fascist protest against the white supremacist, and they showed a young boy with a 22, but it looked like it wasn't didn't have any guns or any bullets in his gun. But it showed him armed and up here. You can walk around with a rifle. I mean, it's legal to walk around. You can't brandish it, which means you can't point it at somebody, but you can have it. So that's what disturbed me. Those are the two things that disturbed me. Is that motherfucker has every right to say what the fuck he want to say. Now I don't give a fuck. You don't agree with what he want to say, but he has the right to say it. And I think he has the right to say it without squirt guns being squirted, without snowballs being thrown at him. And again, to me, it seemed like a setup. Like they gonna bring more of them motherfuckers up in here to let them talk. So that's that's what I found odd. I found that very odd that the very people that are talking about peace, you saw them turn unpeaceful. You saw them turn unpeaceful and basically attack that guy, and that's wrong. That's wrong. Just as these protesters is protesting and they got every right to do it, so does that motherfucker. You can't change the rules just because you don't like what the fuck that motherfucker is saying. You've got to let him say it. So that's what I feel about that. And I say if they come in much bigger numbers, then what? They're gonna come more organized and trained and be able to, handle a crowd. And if some people down there get popped. And what we see, history shows you that if white supremacists start shooting civilians, the police usually join the side of white supremacists. That's kind of how it works in America. And they already show you that they'll kill Europeans up here too. They don't care. They will shoot and kill the Europeans. So they ain't discriminating up here. They'll kill anybody. So if they bombing cars of babies, a 6-month-old baby because they live there, they're trying to leave. They see all the protests in front of their house, and they try to leave, and they, throwing tear gas and flashbangs under their car, and there's a baby that's quit breathing. They just don't give a fuck. So, and this is like again, if say the protesters start getting the upper hand, and some of them is armed and start shooting at the white supremacists, shooting them back. Again, what we see historically is the police will side with the supremacists. And let me say this is like if you get into Noble Drew Ali, you get into unincorporated and being incorporated. Unincorporated means the police take care of all your stuff. Incorporated means you have your own police and stuff. But under that, and the one that's supposed to protect you is the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department is the one that's protect the people, not the local police departments. Their charter is to protect property. You're not there to protect people. You're there to protect property. That's what local police departments are. It's basically their job is to protect property, not protect people. And you can look at the Supreme Court. There's a Supreme Court order that shows you local police have no right. They have no obligation to try to save you. Now, my understanding under sovereign citizenship is that the county is supposed to be the ones that help you out. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. So. But yeah, Jonathan Mason was out there. That motherfucker was out there. I'm not fucking with that shit. I just can't do it, y'all. I just can't do it. But for me, staying inside, watching the game, that's my thing. I could have played pickleball yesterday, but my pickleball partners wrote me, and it's like, yeah, NFL playoffs, buddy. I'm not fucking with pickleball. I'm about to write them down saying, who's playing tomorrow? Where they at? They're way down here. I must have missed them. Who is this? Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, here we go. Who's playing in the morning? See my group who's playing in the morning. Because my knee is hurting. I ain't gonna lie. My patella is hurting like a motherfucker. I need to buy another sleeve to put in my brace because my sleeve's got an open patella, and I think I probably should have had a closed patella, but that's all right. I'll get it in. But this was a great day of football. I enjoyed all the games. That game, I think something Lobo was saying is the script writers are better, but I would say that script writer for that Chicago game sucked. Because to me, if I'm writing a script, they're gonna go, Caleb's sweater's a little, yeah, and he be wearing them fingernails and shit. So yeah, Caleb he's a little sweet. He definitely that commercial or whatever he got the fingernail paint, Now, and I've said this before. When I played college football, I put clear on my hands because it stopped me from breaking my nails. Like one of my girls was like, I had like broke one of my nails, and she's like, "Why don't you just put clear on your nails?" I was like, "Oh," and I would let my little fingers, I would let them grow, and the nail grow a little longer. But I would put clear on my nails, and I quit fucking breaking nails because the ball would hit you funny, and it hit that nail, and that's some painful shit. When you bust up one of these nails in here, it's almost like you've been tortured. It hurts so bad because the ball, like you'll catch it, but the ball will just hit that nail right, or you drop it and it just hits one of these nails and it'll bust all the way in here. It could bust all the way in here. So I started using clear on my fingers. I think my second year, one of my girls I was dating was like, "This will stop that," and I was like, "Okay, thank you." So I never had, but after that, I've never had busted nails after that. So, uh, but it's relaxing, and that's why another reason I come by. Like, even though I'm gonna get up in the morning, I ain't really got shit to do. I kept my nails low because of that. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And even as I played semi-pro basketball, I got away from putting it clear, but I would keep my nails low. And one thing I even have to do today is, I take She Legit, and I take cacao, pure cacao or chocolate, which it comes in the Hershey's tin. This cacao, it's just pure, and I have that in my coffee. And when I eat 70, 80 plus percent chocolate, and it does make your nails grow long. It gives you thick nails, and so I constantly have to be aware. And even in pickleball, sometimes just could hit the ball could hit a nail or something. So I keep my nails, kind of close too. But it's like because of all those bitters tend to make your nails grow longer. So with the bitters, I have to pay attention to my feet and my hands to keep my nails not so long. But yeah, yeah, that was a little trick that I learned back then, And then I had the tryouts. Whenever I would do a pro tryout, I would do that, put that shit back on. And then pro tryouts is a heartbreaker. I had a friend that went to try out for the Lions every year for 10 years. 10 straight years they invited him to camp. And I mean, he was a running back, and Dana was probably we were probably about the same height, but maybe he might have been 6'1", but fast. He was fast. I don't know if we never raced, so I can't say he was faster than me, but he was a track guy too. I was just fast. I never ran track. But he went to the Lions camp 10 years in a row. They let him, he paid his own hotel and everything, but they invited him. He got invited 10 years in a row. He never made it. He always go down there for a couple of days and come back home. But hey, he went. He went. So, but anybody really could try out. They got tryouts where you could just like when they would have Canadian football tryouts. Just come to Greensboro and you try out for the team and shit like that. They do have drills and shit you do, and those were hard drills, because their fields are longer and it was a lot of endurance to see if you could, a lot of sprints to see if you could sprint, on a bigger field. So that kind of shit. And then at one point I was thinking about going to reffing in the CFL league, and we were just figuring out how to try to get the money because that money gets double taxed, and so I was trying to figure out how to get that money and then get a tax because you have to go over there and get a work visa. Go over there and get a work visa and then do them games. And them games is cool until October. Like the cold I'm feeling right now, it'd be like that in October. So that's where up there it ain't cool to be up in Canada. My wife was talking about taking a trip to go up and to go where we go in Michigan to get the weed. I'm like, yeah, hell no, I'm not going to them. What is it? Nicollet something National Forest, man. You be up in them deep woods up north. It's like no, it was when we went in early November. It was snow up there, so I'm like, nah, I'd rather just go to Michigan, lower Michigan, where I'm from, and we can go visit my godmother or somebody and spend a couple days. So that trip will be a little safer. You got 4-lane highways, or 8-lane highways on both sides. Well, it'd be 3 ways, so 6-way highways almost the whole way. So a better deal, a much better deal, y'all. So don't think I'll be going up north. I was like, no, I'm definitely. Now my son is up in Duluth, and I know it's colder than the fuck. He said last night it was the same temperature, but they got more snow. They got more snow. I'm like, I don't know how you do it, son. It is too fucking cold, but that's where his job is. Um, What is this? Mario Cristobal faces allegations before the college football. Duke Blue Devils quarterback who enters name of transfer do not contact tag, meaning he can engage with other teams based on the scope of discussions. The move came after publicly committed now return to Duke. So, man, I don't know about this. And tomorrow I have Indiana. I'm going with the Big Ten. I said that earlier in the week, I'm going with the Big Ten. I'm going with Indiana tomorrow. What did this motherfucker say? Heat for class-lick remark. What did he say? Selfish and class-lick. Cleveland Brown. Oh, some bullshit. You know, it's always some bullshit they're going to say. Always bullshit. And I'm going to keep up this year, y'all. I'm not going to buy as many tennis shoes. I'm no longer a sneaker collector. I'm off of that. I think I bought 30 shoes last year at least. And yeah, I'm not going to buy as many this year. Definitely not. So, Nick Sorter. This is the dude. Nick Sorter. This is the guy. Nick Sorter dragged down Minneapolis street after Somali allegedly steal his camera. This was the white supremacist cave. Nick Sorter's $1,000 camera was abruptly stolen Sunday. He was reporting on riots by protester posts. Oh, this is somebody else. I don't know who Nick Sorters is. Let's see if there's another picture of him. So Somalis put the heat on him. Just stole Nick's camera. Conservative influence attacked by protesters. Again, every man has the right to say what the fuck you want to say. I don't know what this shit is. You have the right to say what the fuck you want to say. That's how I feel. So, Clarissa Shields. What about Clarissa Shields? You got to give me a little more about her. Did she lose? Did she fight again? So, Clarissa Shields, what did she do? Clarissa Shields. What did she do? Whoops. No light on my board. What happened to Clarissa Shields? Did she fight again? No. Is it? Let's see, what did they say about her? Is this it? This came out. Let's see. Jen slipped up while defending herself on live. What did she say?
Not about different opinion. It's about facts. You guys aren't putting out any facts. You guys are lying. You're lying on her name 24/7.
Okay.
24/7.
Give the facts.
She doesn't owe any money in taxes.
So the person who came out, the person who did that video and has that document floating around, that's a false document.
Very, very false. I know Clarissa myself. So therefore, no, it's not true. Secondly, you are talking about that her image is destroyed. How are you guys on this live, the girl you had just before, the saying that, oh, she only made $8 million, like $8 million is not a lot of money. And she has the most lucrative boxing deal in women's boxing. When do we start doing this stuff?
Okay, keep going. So you don't think her image has been destroyed because of the deal?
It's not about she has not done anything for her image to be destroyed. She is a female boxer. What else is she supposed to do?
But what does that mean?
I would love to hear this.
No.
She is a female boxer.
Okay.
She is the best in the world at what she does. She's undefeated. She's never been in jail. She doesn't have anything on her record that's bad. How are you guys painting this girl out to be a bad person and be a bad woman? Please explain that to me.
Okay, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'll try to sum it up. I know for a fact from listening to the women who call in, ages like 35 to 82, when she went at Layla Ali and started to call Layla Ali out and harass her for the for an extended period of time, trying to basically weaponize Layla Ali's father's name to get under Layla Ali's skin so she could benefit monetarily. That is something that turned a lot of people off.
Okay, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Let me see if I can find something else. Damn. Huh. Okay. How did that come in there? That's interesting. They got me in this motherfucker. When your biggest fan may actually be you. Is used to fight a Polish Marine, but this week she appeared to be battling the skies that this week she appeared to be battling critics online. Okay, so that was her talking. I got it. That was her talking. Oh, she was talking in third person. I see. Chance being unfairly targeted. Okay, so that was her talking. Okay, I get you. For calling in as a fan to defend herself. Okay, I don't really care about that. I've never watched it. No, maybe I watched one of her fights. So okay, so she calls in and she's, I ain't really into her like that. So that's interesting that she called in to defend herself. It's like Jonathan Mason. He always talks to third person, which is kind of funny to me, but that's his way of talking. People tease him about talking in third person, and he still talks in third person. So I find that kind of intriguing. Who is this former Nickelodeon star Kiana Underwood killed in Hit and Run? Damn, that is no fun. Fox faces backlash after Bo Nix. See, I want to see the play where he got hurt. Let's see if they show it, because I didn't see it. It's the AFC Championship game, but I didn't see where he got hurt. I was talking shit about it. I didn't see where he got hurt. I missed it. It's when I watch a game, I got a lot going on. It ain't just I'm doing a bunch of stuff when games going on. So okay, let's see this little girl who got hurt. This grown up that got killed. Former Nickelodeon was killed in a double hit and run in Brooklyn. She was crossing an intersection with neighborhood when a black Ford Explorer struck her, according to New York police. While lying in the street, she was then hit by a black and gray sedan. That sounds like a hit. You getting run over twice. And that happened to Angie Steele. And how she got killed. Flipped over in the car, survived, get out, and a fucking semi comes out of nowhere and kills her. So yeah, this was definitely seems like a sacrifice. To get hit like that is definitely a car hit her, and they wanted to make sure that she was dead. See if they show a picture of her. They show a picture of her little girl, Kiana Underwood. But they don't show a picture of her when she's grown. Well, when you got the fame, what I say, you got to pay one way or another when you go get the fame. When you get the fame, they get to determine when you die. Oh. Now that was Nickelodeon. I don't think she was a singer. Grammys is up. Yeah, she wasn't a singer, so I don't know if we'll count her. I don't know. Should we count her? I think we should count her for the Grammys. Yeah, let's count her for the Grammys. Because it is entertainment. Kiana Underwood. And this is Grammys list. And then I'm going to do a Super Bowl list. That's a hit in the vehicles most of the time. Black. Yes, that's a good point. Very well. And then the second car hitting her. Come on now. It's usually somebody out there, but you're saying that, so they made sure she died. So I'm putting her on the list because the Grammys is on the clock. So I'm definitely putting her on the list just because the Grammys, not this coming Monday, next Monday. So the Grammys, yeah, the Grammys would be on the clock. So told you, we're going to see a bunch of music people die before the Grammys. And like this, what was his name? Al Jarreau. Al Jarreau had been dead. They kept him alive for years. They kept him on a ventilator and some shit. And unreachable for over a year in a civil lawsuit. Wow. What did he say? What did Chris Collinsworth say? They should have went for two? The Bears down another game. The Bears field goal, drop before the receiver. The problem was it appeared that Moore stopped on the route and wasn't expecting the pass. Shit, every time you go out, you're expecting the pass, so that's bullshit, you know. Unless it's called, like if it's normally a route, everybody expects the ball. There's never a time where you don't expect the ball on a route. They're saying, yeah, I mean, I heard Collinsworth say it didn't look like he was expecting the ball, but every time you go on a route, you're expecting the ball. Now, I mean, sometimes the calls will be a direct, you know, a direct person that's going to get the ball, like a screen or something like that. Then that's a direct person. But if it's like open receivers, um, everybody is open. You know, everybody should be in there. There's a baseball player. Should we add him? When did he die? What is this? Well, I'm trying to find a date. This came 2 hours ago. So, dude named Wilbur Wood. Oh, he was old too. Damn, he was real old. As old as my mom. I don't know if I'll count him. Probably should, but I'm not gonna count Wilbur Wood as a Hollywood hit, Hollywood death. I'm looking for more music. Now, if he died within the Super Bowl championship, like the Super Bowl 2 weeks, then yeah, I would include her. But right now, I'm not include her. Viral rumor claims Erica Kirk is dating again. Who gives a fuck? Up. Now, is this the dude from the Grateful Dead? Because he died a while. He died a couple minutes ago. Let me see. This is Matthew Taylor. Okay, yeah, there's another one we'll put in here. Matthew Taylor. He died. I never heard of this group. Matthew Taylor. He was a part of a group called founding member of Bellini and former director for Torch and Go Records. How old is this mug? Let's see, what hit will we know on his heavy heart, Matthew. Founding member was also a band. Projects included. I have nothing. I don't see anything. Okay, I guess it's this motherfucker here. Oh, not him. This guy. No, that's him. That must be another member or something. Tragically short life of Terry Cath. That's somebody else. He's also, maybe I can find a picture. This him in the wheelchair with the girl with her legs spread. Okay. This is the design. Okay. This is the design. Yeah, I don't know. This is okay. This is somebody that's still paid the piper. Okay. He still had to pay the piper for whatever little bit of fame. The Jesus Lizards. Okay. So that's 2 people that we got on the list. And we know leading up to the Grammys next week, it's going to expand because it just always does. I mean, this ritual that they do is just, and that's what, you know, a lot of the sports is about. Like you know, I've said this before. To me, you know, when I played pickleball and when I hooped, it was a spiritual thing, you know, to Americans. You know, where the ball games was invented in the Americas. And so to us, it's more than just, you know, it's a very spiritual thing to us. I mean, we would, you know, we grow up and wake up in the morning and can hoop all day. I mean, when I was younger, I mean, there was periods where we played baseball all summer without being on a team. We would just 18 people get together. Everybody had gloves. You know how you can do with the catcher, stays way back so he ain't gonna get a broken nose, and you know, play baseball all day. And then I grew up, I would say upper middle class, and when I was in 3rd grade, I got full football equipment, and I think my first helmet, well, it'd been I'm trying to think when I got the Cowboys helmet. Might have been the Giants helmet when I got my equipment because my dad bought me, he had bought me an old plastic face mask, like the face mask when they first started putting it on leather helmets. I had one of those old helmets. Somewhere there's a picture around me of my brother. Maybe my brother has the helmet on and I'm holding the football. I forget. But I think my first helmet was a New York Giants helmet. And it had foam rubber inside. And the one cheek part didn't have foam rubber, so it was cheaper. So it was cheaper for me, and so I bought it. So I think that was my first helmet. And I think the next helmet was my Cowboys helmet. And then when I was in 8th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, I wore Kansas City Chiefs. And then I put the Joe Namath face mask, which was a bird cage, but you know, it didn't have the right over your eye. It had this. It didn't have a bird cage. Matter of fact, let me see. In this picture here, I think Squirrel has the bird cage helmet. See, like this my teammate here, Squirrel. He has the bird cage helmet. See how he has the helmet with the bar? And you can kind of see Billy has the helmet with the bar. But see, he doesn't have a helmet with the bar, but he has the long face mask. So it was something like that. I wore that in 8th grade. Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I could have worn it in 9th grade, but I didn't. I don't know. The coach might not let me. We got new helmets, and I wore the old plastic bullshit face mask. So, well, I think I got to, I've said what I had to say. You know, and I'll finish it like this with like the events that's going on. Like what's crazy is, like my son was telling me they might be going after the Burmese in Michigan. And let's not forget why a lot of these people come over to America. It's like the reason why you see the Hmong and the Montagnards here in Minnesota and some Vietnamese is because, again, these people sided with the Americans. And so when the North Vietnamese took their country, what do you think you do to the traitors? I mean, if I'm working to unite my country, and there's a group of people that's fighting me, what do? You know, you kill the traitors. That's what you do. I mean, that's normal. That's nationalism. So America caused the problem, and then America, bails out. So they had to take these people. And Black Hawk Down shows you directly what happened to all these people and why they're here. They were starving them to death and murking them. So they brought them here. And, I was listening to a young lady, and she was right on what they're trying to do, their game. See, European people are not having babies like they want. And so their numbers are dwindling. And I mean, with all these immigrants coming, I mean, they are a minority and not having children. So what Trump's whole agenda in Agenda 25 is to bring back European supremacy. That's what they're pushing for. They want Jim Crow again. I mean, I was reading somewhere today or yesterday, they're Mississippi, Alabama is passing laws that say that you can have segregated schools again. Did somebody catch that? Did somebody out there catch that? What state that says they're going to start having segregated schools again? And so that's what all this is about. That's what Trump and them, that's their aim. Their aim is to make it, make America great again. They want Jim Crow. They want apartheid. That's what they want. That's what all this violence is about. And they want to put more violence on melanated people to put us in our places, so we don't attack them. It's like right now, the reason why Trump and them saying they got this victory in Venezuela, but what about when them trucks try to go and try to fix that shit? How many people you gonna put on the ground to make sure all those routes to fix things is gonna happen? They can't do it without putting significant amount of people on the ground. So it sounds good, yeah, we went in and got him, but that ain't staying there and trying to fix that shit they talking about fixing to get that oil. It looks good to take a tanker that's in the ocean, but to be on the ground over there and try to fix that stuff, a bunch of oil companies already told them it's impossible, that we're not going to do it. We can't go over there. It's too risky. We're not going to risk our people. But that's what all this is about, is to make Europeans supreme again. That's what it means. They want segregation. They want apartheid. Really, they want apartheid. That's really what they want. That's really why the soldiers is within 20 miles of me. Is they're trying to bring back apartheid. That's what they want, and they're going to use it by, again, the only way they know how, the slave catchers. That's the way they know how, is using the slave catchers. The military and the police is what they've always used against the common people. Because right now, European people in the world, but in America, are a minority, and they know it. They're not having children. I mean, how many European people you know that got more than 1 or 2 children? I think I know one family that has 4, but I know a bunch of families, 1, 2. And then you go to Hispanic folks, 5, 6. I have 7 children. My brother has 7 children. You see? So melanated people are still having lots of children. Hell, I had a child when I was 50. My youngest daughter that just right in this room over here in front of me. Just popped her head in the door a few minutes ago. I was 50 when she was born. I'm 50 years older than her. And so that's what it's all about, is to bring apartheid back, to bring Jim Crow back. And that's what they're trying to use the military for, to scare you right now. And it's good that, other European people ain't with it either. That's good. That's a good thing that other European people ain't about it. Now, how far would they go? I mean, it's clearly what they did to that woman. That woman was clearly turning. So, and they're not allowing any local investigation. So how can you investigate yourself? You have somebody impartial come in and investigate. You don't investigate yourself, but that's what they're doing to justify it. And the lies, how fast propaganda lies. He went to the hospital. He's got internal bleeding. No, he didn't. He lied about all that. He didn't get hit. The view, the frontal view they show, that's you can tell they doctored some of that. But if you see the closest film, the car clearly, she turning, and he assaulted her. But that's what this panic, and that's what this Project 25 is all about, is to make America segregated again. That's what they would prefer. I mean, Americans, taught the Nazis how to be racist. Nazis came here. It's like, hey, let's watch them and let's do what they did. And we'll do that to all these different peoples in our country. But that's who they learned it from. I mean, South Africa, when they took over, that's the only way they knew. I mean, think about when they went into South Africa. The Dutch went into South Africa. All they knew to keep power was to kill. Kill, torture, maim. That's the same, like if you look at King Leotard, cut off the hands if they ain't producing enough. And you got all these other Africans helping out. And Africans get mad when you look at who the biggest slavers were. Was the Arab and the Africans was the biggest slavers. Wasn't the Europeans. It was the Africans themselves, and the Arabs were the biggest slavers. And once Africans got a hold of lead, and they could get lead and iron, they was conquering tribes, selling them left and right. Central Africa, the bigger countries in Africa, was conquering the smaller tribes for lead. I got a book back there called 1,000 Years of the History of Slavery. And it gets into African and Arab slavery like you never, you might not have known. But that, Arab slavery was still today. Shit, Libya. Libya went from a beautiful country, but again, they don't want a united Africa. They don't want countries off these petrodollars. They want people on these worthless dollars. And the dollars, I mean, think about it. It was a time in my life where the money was backed by gold. There was a time where you could buy silver certificates. The money's backed by something. Right now, the money is backed by debt or death. That's what the money is backed by. Don't you know the more debt you have, the more credit you can get? I mean, you got to have some assets and shit too, but this world is based on credit. If you own a home, look at the credit cards that start going once you own a home. I mean, I learned that 30 years ago when I bought my first home. I bought my first home in 1988. I was 25, 26 years old. And one of my children bought his house at 29. He bought his house at 29. But I bought my house, I was 20, let me see. 27, 26, 27. Let me see, 85, 24, 25. Yeah, I think I was 26, 26. Maybe I bought my first house at 26 back in 1988. And so these are the times, and this is what the enemy, this is the long-term goal and plan of the enemy. You know, it's like we could get into funky people, you know, like how many people work with funky people? It doesn't really matter if they're European or they're melanated. I mean, we all know we work with funky people. And it's even worse when it becomes a European versus a melanated thing. I mean, it makes it even worse. Richard Pryor says, you know, arguing with a man and a man all of a sudden calls you nigga, and it's like, you know, it ain't just a man-to-man argument anymore. You got to be demeaned. You know, it changes the mindset because he called you a nigga. You dig? And so that's what these Europeans really want to do is they want to erase history because they like Trump said that they felt that they'd been alienated or they were treated badly during immigration. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That's an absolute lie that Trump put out there. Nothing was, you know, it's like I talked about before. What happened to what Europeans during Jim Crow? It was like what's called. Let me see. What is it called? Let me see if I can find it, because I'm an old man right now. Oh, the mediocre theory, which I talked about weeks ago. The mediocre theory. That's what Jim Crow was all about. You hire somebody, it doesn't matter if they can do the job or not, as long as they somebody cousin, uncle or not. Doesn't matter you have a melanated person in front of you that's an expert in his job, but you give the job to a person, you give the person to a job they're not qualified, but you give it to them because they're European. So, yo, what's Skywalker? Gibby Gibson. What's happening? What's happening? Jamon Mears. What's happening? So that's the mediocre theory. And that's really what we're by. Well, no, hire your brother. We don't want this guy. Even though this guy is going to make the job and make the company go better, they would rather hire mediocre people just because they're European. And that's what they want to do again. They want to make everything segregated. What they really want is to put melanated people, like they're getting rid of a lot of the people, the Latinos, South Americans, and they want to put American black folks in them jobs. They want to put them back into menial jobs, get them out of the corporations, keep them as entertainers, but get out of the corporations, get out of being inventors, get them out of being AI people, investors. No, we want you people to go back. We want you to entertain us, and we want you to do our manual labor again. That's what they want to turn it back to. Getting rid of the loans, have a working class, not a and that goes into, because what the reason why they got rid of all the shop, woodworking, electricians. Like I said, in my high school, you could work on your car, you could learn to be a mechanic. You could learn to be an electrician in my high school. Matter of fact, you started in 10th grade framing windows, building a home, and then by your senior year, you and your crew would build a home. That would be your job, as you guys would build and wire the home your senior year. You would start in September, build until the winter, and then in the fall, in the spring, you would finish the house. This is the kind of opportunity they gave you. Or if you worked in, shop where you tear an engine down, build it back together. That's what you got to do. Find this engine, make this engine work. It's teaching you skills. Draftman, drafting and all those kind of things was offered in my high school. Electrician classes to get into being an apprentice. So they took that out. They took those kind of things out to take those skills away. And that's where we are today. They want people skillless. They want mindless people to just they want the melanated people to just be quiet again, subservient. We'll arrest you, mass incarceration. And it's like what's going on now The reason why they're trying to lock all these people up and put all these people in prison is again, the private prisons was going bankrupt. You know, the government had promised to, you know, that these prisons was going to be held up, and when Biden was in, these private prisons was going out of business. They couldn't keep them. And what happened? And this is, you can look this up yourself. The minute Trump got elected, the stock in them private prisons shot up because they knew, and that's where they're taking people, to these private prisons. That's their goal of taking these aliens, is to taking these aliens is to private prisons, to build the private prisons population back up, because society has gotten so good where the private prisons wasn't necessary anymore, and they was damn near put out of business. And Michael Jordan was an investor in private prisons. Let's tell that. Now, I don't know how long he held it, but at one point, Michael Jordan was investing in a private prison too. That was locking up his own people. But again, you know, people don't matter. The people don't matter. What did Mike say when what was his name? The rapper wanted to take a picture of it. Oh, got another one. Up, told you. Punk legend Kenny Morris dies. Damn, he's only a little older than me. Punk legend Kenny Morris. Kenny Morris, 68 years old. Isn't it Morris? He was 68. 68. So damn. And this dude was 80 something. 86, I think it said. That's a white dude named Michael Jordan. Yeah, he is. He acts like a white dude. But this is punk legend Kenny Morris. I don't know. That looks like a woman. Is that a woman? Is Kenny one of these Kenny? Let's see. Kenny Morris, far right. So this dude right here, big hair. This dude right here. Morris was a founding member, the drummer of the Soci and then Banshees, named for their gothic post-punk music. Music featured bands 78 and 79 before leaving the group. So this cat right here. So he's another name that we add to the list. Told you they be taking these musicians out for their sacrifices. They be taking them out because they need blood. This beast is a bloodthirsty beast. Never forget that. It is a bloodthirsty beast. I don't know if this one counts. Let's see. 2 days ago. I don't know about this one. January 6th. No, we're not going to count him. But you know, it's funny. They're showing it. They're showing it now because this story says 2 days ago. But this guy died January 6th. No, Michael Jeffrey Jordan didn't own no prisons. That's white man named Michael Jordan that owned. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. That he didn't own private prisons. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know because I saw some paperwork that showed he did own the prisons. I saw because I saw a list of his holdings. It showed his holdings, and his holdings don't like they showed. Let me try to get this right. They showed that when because you know he tried to buy a casino, and I think I want to say he had to disinvest from the prison to buy the casino. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You might be right. You might be right. Might be because Michael Jordan is it's not an uncommon name, especially Michael. So I could be wrong. But it seemed like I came across that when he had to disinvest from the private prison. But I could be wrong. Now, is this an actor? When did this? See a lot of, but see, January 11th. See, isn't this funny? January 11th, the guy died, but they're showing it like it's a news story. So I think they count this. I'm not going to count this because he died on the 11th. And I think we're going to go into, what is the 18th? Yeah, we're going to go 17th on. But again, they're reporting it, so they're counting it. They're counting it. So yeah, you could be right, PJ. You could definitely be right. But that's what I remember. I came across that when I remember his holdings because when he bought that casino, he had to give up something. I remember that when he bought that casino, he had to give up something.
I saw a picture of him and them boys was going in on the situation. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And again, it's a few years ago. NFL fans want long-time referee investigated. Like the catch where the dude didn't come down with it, I still think I think it was interception. I still think it was interception because he didn't come down with it. He didn't come down with it. So, but see, here's David Crosby and Nash. This is a pair I used to hoop in. Yeah, let me show this. It's funny, I bought all these shoes when they first came out. I know y'all a little younger than me, but I told the story on these. So I used to ride, now are these blue? Are these yeah, obsidian blue. Yeah. I had these. When they first came out, I had these. And I managed the store at the mall where I lived, and I managed a Health Rider store. And one of my partners was at Foot Locker. Or Champs. I want to say Foot Locker. And so, dude, Lee. So I gave Lee the money, and Lee was supposed to give me the 13s. Well, Lee comes at the end of my shift, and he gives me 14s. And that's when I found out I could wear 14s. And this was back when we was hooping in these. You know, we used to hoop in these. Like, you go to a Mac, I remember one dude had the different colors. He had one of this and one another color. But we used to hoop in these. Like, when these first came out, they wasn't just to walk around in. These was actually where people hooped in. And this was a great hoop shoe. I must admit, this was a great hoop shoe for the time. I got to get them ones. I haven't released these in a while. Yeah, so I had these. You know, I had these. When they first came out, I had these. Let me see. Cameron and Keelan weren't born. So Britain had to be 3. So maybe 2000s they first came out? Said the rep. 97. Okay, so my son was 2. Yeah, he was 2. February 97. Yeah, that makes sense there. February 97 when they first came out. Yeah, but I definitely had these. I hooped in these. And this was when I learned that I could play in 14s. And now I'm still kind of like, it's some 14s I could wear. Not always 14, but some 14s I can definitely wear. But it's funny when they come back. Yeah, but I'm not. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. Ed Haynes Engineer. See if I can get that to come up. Let me see. I think I can get him to come up. Yes. Okay, let's take that off. Yeah, this is the next pair of shoes I'm buying. Now, what you got to understand is this is a handmade boot, y'all. And see, there, you know, you can get tennis shoes at most of that price. But this is a handmade. This is all stitched. This is this is all stitched. This ain't like a Timberland where they glue this shit together. This shit is stitched. Look at the detail of this. So this is the next shoe I'm getting. And I'm hoping that they don't run small. But yeah, it was 97. They released the cherry 12s with those, and my brother had a cherry for 1 foot, and I said, yeah, that's what a lot of people wear, the red one on 1 foot and the white one. But yeah, this is the next shoe I'm getting. It's getting these. But the detail, and this, like I've got 3 pair of Red Wings, and people just don't know. I like handmade things. And this is a handmade boot. You know, you can wear this year round. And you can kick ass in it too. But that's the next shoe I buy. Before I buy another pair of shoes, I'm getting these boots. So, and I can go, it's Red Wings all around here. So the boots are clutch for the winter. Oh yeah, but you know, you spray them, you can wear them all around, all year round. So, Leprechaun and Rumpelstiltskin director. Do we want to count him? Leprechaun and Rumpelstiltskin elector. I don't know if we count him or not. He's more of an actor. Black Toe History. Oh, and I told you before that this is like when they, like I had the Carolina blue ones, but this was, up to this point, there wasn't a better shoe. This was when this was on this model was on the market. This was my favorite pair of Jordans, but I had the Carolina blue pair, where this was blue. Well, the blue was here, it was white, but you had the blue here, and this shoe was the most advanced, comfortable shoe up to this point that I'd ever played in. Was this pair? When this pair came out, it was like up to this time, the Iverson with the hexa rubber. But when this shoe came out, this was to me the most comfortable Jordan there ever was. And again, I had the Carolina blue with the blue flames. And the flames started flaking, so I sent these back, and the motherfucker sent me the 15s that you couldn't even hoop in. I was hoping to get another pair of these when I sent them back to Nike, but they sent me the next newest. They wasn't even released when they sent me the 15s, and I only hooped in them a couple times. You couldn't hoop in them. Everything about them was off. But when this was a new shoe, these was the most comfortable that was on the market. Was these by far. And I hated when when that shit started to peel, and it came time to get a new pair, and I sent them to Nike, and I hate they didn't send me another pair of these. I was so mad when they sent me the 15s. And I know thought they was doing me a favor sending me the new ones. But the Hexalite, the Hexalite and the Iversons it was hard to match. But this shoe beat those. This shoe beat those. Because at first they came out with the Shaq, and then they came out, I think it was Iverson 2, the Hexalite. But when they came out with this one, this was the most comfortable shoe to play in at the time. And this must have been, the boys were born, they got an initial release date on these when they first came out. Must have been, let me see, Cameron was born, so must have been 01. Must have been 01 when they came out with the Carolina blue ones. Must have been 01. But I loved hooping in these. These to me back then was one of the most comfortable pair of shoes. I don't even know what happened to the 15s to tell you. Like, I tried to hoop in them, hard to break in. Traction was terrible. I mean, terrible. Like if the traction was almost so bad, it was like they was almost a knockoff. They were heavy, but again, all leather shoe, but it just wasn't a good hoop shoe at all. I was very disappointed when they didn't send me the new pair, or when they sent me that pair. I was very, very disappointed and couldn't hoop in the 15s at all. This is one I think we can count. But again, when did he die? Let's see. Because they're counting now. His name is Roger Allen. And he directed The Lion King. And he was 76 years old. Okay. Singer, actor, and this was a director. And Lion King can be looked at as a musical, but Roger Alice, and I'm trying to see what date, but they're showing it today, so they want this counted. They're looking at this as their sacrifice. What are these? Yeah, see, I never hooped in 5s. The Iversons was much better. Yeah, these weren't good hoop shoes. I think I had a pair, 5s, 6s, 5s maybe. Weren't good. Wasn't a good hoop shoe. These weren't good shoes. Let me see if they show when they came out. Yeah, they weren't. The 5s weren't good hoop shoes to me. I think they were competing against the Iverson, and I'd say the Shaq leading up to the Iverson, the Shaq 15s had them sock liners and them. Yeah, they just, man, I'm telling you, because again, back then I'm playing in semi-tournaments like almost every week, money tournaments, but just, tournaments. And I remember I was playing in this cold water tournament. I took them down there, and I didn't take another pair of shoes with me. And I am not stopping. I mean, they're not gripping. They weren't that comfortable. Yeah, it just, like, the grip was the biggest part that stays in my mind. It just had one of the worst grips. And I'm out there struggling. And it's like a lot of times, the gyms would be dirty and shit. And if it was a dirty floor, oh my goodness. But I think that's what it was. The only Jordan in high school I played U-ball in was the 9s, the Jordan 9s. Now, I think I had opportunity to get a pair of Air Ships. I think is what the shoe that was available in '79. I think was the Ships. Because my teammates, there's some pictures in my scrapbook. Some of my teammates and people I played against that they had them. Like I mentioned, I got rid of my. They were nylon shoe Pro Kids, but they had frayed a little bit, and everybody was taking their shoes back. And so I took those back, and I should have kept them because they were a better shoe than the Dr. J's. I got the Converse, Dr. J's, not the weapons, the one before the weapons, the first ones the first ones with the check that Dr. J wore, and I don't remember what those was called. Everybody calls them the Dr. J's, and that wasn't. I mean, padding wise, it wasn't nothing but a leather Chuck Taylor. I mean, really, like what was on the bottom, technological stuff on the bottom, nothing. It was just leather on top. That was the difference. It was nothing in that shoe. And I almost ruined my feet, my legs wearing Chuck Taylors in 10th and 11th grade, 10th grade. It really fucked my legs up. Really did. Almost stopped me where I didn't have to play. Almost like I was a junior. They were so bad that I almost didn't play my junior year. And it's funny, they released a new Jordan yesterday, and nobody's buying them. They put the Air on the back instead of the Jordan thing, and the bricks are sitting. When I went, I had to go to Mall of America because my ring was done. Because every 6 months I take it in and they keep it for 2 or 3 weeks. And God, I got to report back 7 diamonds they had to tighten, and then they did some laser etching. So I think they had to, hone the diamonds in. So it's interesting. And you buy diamonds, you better buy it in warranties, because motherfuckers, like my other ring, got to do a bunch of work to it, which is very kind of disappointing. It just had a bunch of work to it. Trying to see the ones that was released that just bricked. It ain't these. But it's a pair that just came out and motherfuckers sit. But Bugs Bunnies, the Fight Club 4s, the Fight Club 4s just came out, and they're sitting. Let's see, I can put that in. Yeah, but the Fight Club 4s sitting. But just like the Bugs Bunnies, I could have bought a pair of Bugs Bunnies. I went out to the mall, Thursday? They had a pair. They had them. They out there. They didn't sell out. What do you call them? Yeah, you buy diamonds, you want to, and even watches, you want to get that shit. Something happened to them. Just like if your watch won't stop running too fast, you need to take it into them. Take it back to them and make them run, especially automatic. You get automatic watches. You can set them where they're pretty much on time. What is it called? What'd you put? Fight Club. And they are sitting. Let's see. Where am I at? Fight Club. Here we go. Right here. Matter of fact, these are, if you go to Nike, they're still readily, you can get them on right now. I don't know if I'm in grade school. 139. Wow. Wow, this is for every size? 139? But this is the shoe. And right now, these are readily available. And it's not a bad shoe. I just don't like 3s and 4s. I really don't care for 3s and 4s. I've never owned a pair. When these came out, there were so many other shoes that were just as comfortable to me. Because I tried them on, and it was so many other shoes that were better when these came out. Again, I think these were competing against Iverson. Nah, maybe it was Iverson's? I don't think so. I got them 8s, and the last pair was released. Okay, you got the 8s. I bought the Black Tongue 5s from the store out of North Dakota. Oh, bet. Okay. Oh, bet. I got them 8s, and the last pair was released. Oh, okay. So not a bad looking shoe. I mean, with outfit on, it wouldn't be bad to get these. But these are 16s. Nah, they got a new one now. Cause what do these got in the back? These got Jordans in the back, or they got, what does it say? What's in the back? Okay, yeah, they're basically this. They say this in the back, but they're sitting. But they are sitting. And so, I just, I don't know. I wasted so much money on shoes, and I've been giving them away to my sons. Like right now, I'm looking at, I think it's 30 shoes right here. I got a shoe rack, and it's like 30 shoes. I got one pair of Jordans right here. Let's see. Because I think I bought them at the outlet, and they didn't have a box. But this is the only pair of Jordans that sits out, is this pair. I think these are the infrareds. I forget. Infrareds. These are the only pair that I got that don't have a box. And I'm really thinking on getting my nephew. Ego's like, oh, you need them, but I think my nephew would appreciate them more. So I think I'm give him these. And so I've been just giving them away empty, It's like my pickleball shoes. Like if I buy shoes, I'm gonna buy pickleball shoes or tennis shoes, because pickleball shoes and tennis shoes pretty much go together. But pretty well set, really pretty well set. And shoes to walk around in. I'm kind of back into, like, the one thing I like about the Red Wings is, like Doc Martens, the way the shoe is made, there's like a cork in there, and the cork kind of special foot fits to your foot. And then I put my inserts in it, and it's like really comfortable. So I can wear more of a dress type of shoe boot now. So yeah. So well, oh shit, an hour and a half. I didn't mean to go that far. What time? Oh, it's still early. My wife is. I should tell this story, but I'm not. I'm not going to tell this story, but I should tell it. But no, I'm not. But let me tell you, I will tell this part of the story, y'all. I'm going to do a show on all these medicines and all these minerals I take. Sea moss. I take a probiotic. I take lion's mane. I take a liver and kidney cleanse. I take She Legit, and I'm going to tell you, this shit, I'm 64, I'm going to be 65, and I'll just say that I still get busy. I know I get on comedians that talk about that shit, but I'm just telling you, my wife is 54. So y'all know, y'all in your 50s or late 40s, y'all know how you still feel about things. You still feel about things. And when you get older, but I don't know, something I'm taking is, I don't know. Because it's a lot of times, it's like, it's not that I can't, but it's just like, it don't be on my mind. I'll be like, don't think about it. I don't know, whatever I'm taking has put that shit back on my mind. Or I'm chasing my wife around the house to get his shit. So whatever I'm taking is work like a motherfucker. I mean, it's just interesting that it's kicked in. I've been taking this stuff and it's kicked in. So it just shows, motherfucker's healthy, that's all. It just shows motherfucker's healthy, So I just telling all y'all, you can be healthy and do things your whole life. You ain't got to lose that. But like I'm saying, well, my man comes and he ejaculates so quick. Well, what if he didn't do it to you at all? Would you still be complaining about how quick he came? Well, hey, him coming quick is better than him not coming at all, honey. Well, it was good for 2 minutes. Well, what did Richard Pryor say in Harlem Nights? He said, let's do it real strong for 10 minutes and sleep for 8 hours. But I don't know, something I'm taking, but I still, like, I hurt my knee. I don't know, my new braces, it's not like holding my patella, so I might in the morning get up and go get a sleeve, go under Walgreens and get me just a sleeve to put under my brace, because again, open knee, and maybe I just need to put my brace on tighter, because that's why I quit playing the other day. I was playing well, and then all of a sudden, it's just like I could feel my patella like a little sore. So I've been icing it all weekend. I feel a little better, but yeah. So I'm going to end with the sports thing. Again, yeah, I think I'm going back and forth, but my initial thing was Rams, but I just think from seeing them, I think I'm just going to go with the Pats in Seattle. And if I change my mind to come up, but that's my picks. That's my picks is Seattle to win against the Rams and the Pats to win the Broncos. That's kind of my picks. And, and so right now, Pats in Seattle. And then if that comes to fruition, I'll get into further on who I pick for the Super Bowl. But right now, that's what I'm going with, the Pats in Seattle. I'll watch to see during the week if I have to change because I have a week to come and change. But right now, I'm thinking Seattle. And looking back, all I've been doing is trying to go picks, and I see where, Seattle and the Pats was one of my early picks too. Yep, yep. Because I looked at my early picks and the ones I crossed out. I had Pats Bears, I had Bears Broncos, I had Bears Pats, but then one I did have was Seattle and the Pats. Yeah, so. So that's what I think is going to come. Now looking back over my list and going over here and looking at this side of my list, yeah, it's coming up again. Because like I put question marks and I looking over my list, Pats in Seattle. Yeah, I'm going with that. I'm going with that, and that looks like what's going to be. So I was 3-1 this week, y'all. Oh, but man, they have D.L. Hewley's coming up here, and he's going to the Mall of America. We have a comedy club, and he wants $171 a piece to be in that little comedy club. So check it out. My wife and I would have to pay almost $300, and you have to buy 2 drinks, and their beer is about $12 a piece. So you have to buy. So my wife could get away buying a couple of sodas, or we could buy dinner and stuff there. But $300 to see him, when normal tickets at that place is, you might spend $100 for tickets. Now Mike Epps is coming with a bunch of motherfuckers, and it was only $200. It was like for 2 tickets to sit that motherfucker was like $171. The price that he wants to pay per person. Mike Epps brings 7 or 8 motherfuckers, but the difference is Mike Epps is going to be in Army. It's a bigger venue, but it's downtown too. So you got to go downtown in the city. Whereas the other one is at the Mall of America. So D.A. Hewley, I'm not going in. We have a jazz club called the Dakota. Bunch of different groups are coming in and out. So my wife doesn't really like jazz. So my best friend and I, we've been talking about going to one. So I'm gonna run a couple by and then maybe we'll hook up and go to one stuff and go see the jazz club because I love jazz. I grew up on jazz. Last time I went to the Funny Bone, I was high as hell eating. Yeah, because 2 years ago, when my mother's about to turn 85. When she turned 83, we took her to the comedy club. She took pictures with the comics and stuff, and she had a ball. We ate dinner and everything at that motherfucker. My son came. My oldest son with my second wife. He came, and his fiance. They were all there, so we took a nice little group to see. And last year we only went once or twice. So this year we haven't been. But I'm not paying $300 to go see D.L. Hewley talk for 90 minutes. Not even 90 minutes. The motherfucker probably talk for an hour. It's like the whole show is basically an hour and a half. It's like you watch 2 other comedians, and then he comes on and he does a set for about an hour. It's just, and I saw him before, and I didn't think he was that funny. I saw it was Charlie Murphy, Eddie Griffin, D.L. Hewley, and Sid. And really, Eddie Griffin should have been the showstopper because they had Sid be the showstopper. He wasn't funny at all. I mean, he was like not funny at all. You go to a comedy club, motherfucker don't be funny. Sid was not funny. He was not funny. He was the least. Charlie Murphy was funnier than him, and Charlie Murphy was dying at the time. He was funnier than Sid, and his niggas is dying. You dig? He's dying. So, oh yeah, I go in there, I be high in the motherfucker. Now you can take the drops and shit, so you can just stay. Like my daughter, I was telling her, I'm not an alcoholic, but she's like, but you're addicted to getting high. I'm like, boom, you win $1,000. What do they say? I get high just to get by. I like that consciousness. It helps with consciousness. It brings consciousness too. So. Thanks for Eddie Griffin was the last one I saw. Yeah, Eddie Griffin is funny. That night I saw him and Charlie Murphy probably stole the show to me. And Charlie Murphy was the first one they put out there, and he had everybody tripping. He was funny as shit. So. And I've been like, I go back to comedy clubs with Tim Allen. I've told the story many times about Tim Allen. If you've been around me, I met Tim Allen several times, but I saw him. We had a place in Kalamazoo. It was the bottom of the State Theater called Zany's. And, you know, the first time, I saw him the first time, we got in there on time. The second time I saw him, I was out there smoking a joint. I went in and came out to smoke a joint. I don't know if he was out there smoking a cigarette, but he was out there, then he came in. So he went in before me, so I kept smoking my joint, and then I finally went in, then he started bagging on me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay. And so last time I saw the motherfucker, I was like, look, I got here early, don't be fucking with me today. And he kind of laughed. He's like, okay. He's like, I had to get on. You was out there smoking weed. I know you was high. So I was laughing. The shit was funny. So it was funny. I didn't care. But that's how far back. I saw the dude from Police Academy. I think his name is Winslow, David Winslow. The dude that made all the sounds. I saw him in Battle Creek. But I saw Tim Allen. He went to Western Michigan. And I saw him at Western Michigan. I didn't bring my water up here. Damn, I'm just now noticing. Huh. I don't know. I don't know where the motherfucker's at. Shows. Oh, didn't bring it in here. That's all right. Man, so that's how long I've been going to comedy clubs. I enjoy comics, you know. That's why, you know, I used to watch Corey Holcomb a lot, but Corey get on that preaching shit. Craig Fax, I don't know. Craig don't be saying relevant shit all the time. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So I just like cleverness. You know, Dewan B is a little more clever all the time, you know, without the preachiness. Corey want to be a minister. That's what Corey wants to have, a mega church. You can kind of see it. Sometimes he come on there, he wants to preach. And Corey is leaning, you know, he's, you can tell Corey's influenced by the nation too. You just listen to some of his talking. You're addicted to getting high. Yeah, oh yeah. That's what she said. She's like, yeah, you may not be alcoholic, but you're addicted to getting high. I'm like, yes, I am. So, well, I'm going to close it here, y'all. Thank you for coming. I didn't blab my mouth long enough. Thank you for coming. I'll let you know on events. You always keep it. I try to. Thank you. Thank you, Magby. I appreciate it. That Corey show and acted a fool. Yeah, I saw that with Antoine again. You know, this is why I wonder if it was all the setup. Let's keep in mind, Corey broke his wrist. He broke both wrists. And he's talked repeatedly how he really ain't got no strength. One of his hands is almost kind of like, his right hand is still like kind of deformed, if you look at it. And so for Corey to hit somebody, like I ain't broke my hands in years, but I already know. If I didn't have my hand tight enough and punch somebody, I'd break it. I already know. The first time I broke my hand was when I socked the dude because I didn't have my fist balled up enough. But Antoine didn't want to fight either because Antoine got up and turned his back. Now, me and the dude talking shit, and he turns his back. You know, I'm driving him into the wall of the door. I'm walking right behind him, and I'm driving him into the door, or I'm driving him into the wall. And like he could have did that off camera. He's like, okay, motherfucker, got behind him, and boom, right into the door or right into the wall off camera. Where are the witnesses? And that shows me Antoine again the way he thinks. You turn your back. If you really about that life, you step out. You don't turn away. You step out and you back away, or you walk sideways away from somebody. You in an argument, you gonna turn your back? No, not if you about it. Not if you're tactical. If you're tactical, you gonna just be looking at that motherfucker. You get up, you gonna look at him, and you just gonna start walking sideways until you see. You ain't gonna turn your back and walk out and think you done said it all because you said, well, we can go outside. Why outside? If you gonna fight, you fight right where you at. I mean, really, because he said, I want to fade, so start fighting him in there. How you gonna be sued? The motherfucker said he wanted to fight. He said he wanted to fade, so how you wanted to fade? He said it. So he didn't want to fight. Neither one of them did. I don't think really either one of them wanted to fight. So, and Corey gets too preachy instead. I mean, he's clever, but he just gets too preachy, and it's like, I don't know. And I quit listening to the quantum of science, and he's like, I don't know. He's kind of racist. He's kind of racist too, and that's a turn off. You know, I'm racist. I would say I'm racist, but I think the way I'm racist is a little different than the way he racist. Yeah, yeah. Who you fight, you argue with a motherfucker. Really, you gonna be at somebody's house. Okay, nigga, let's go outside. And you gonna turn your back on them? They driving you into the door of the wall. Come on. No, you want to keep your eye on somebody. You want to watch them, and you step away. You step out. You never turn your back. And so that showed right there. That showed me he wasn't about it. He just talking. He just talking. He's like thinking, well, I'm about to get I'm almost near the door. I can walk out. So that's kind of funny to me. I was like, and I'm too easy. I'm too old. I'm like Wyatt Earp. I would rather fight somebody. I'd rather smack him with the pistol. That'd be my first move. If I didn't shoot him, my first move would be to smack him with the pistol. Man detained by ICE in Minneapolis dies in Texas facility. Who is this? A man detained by ICE. Well, I guess I can share it with everybody. A man detained by ICE in Minneapolis dies in Texas DHS facility. A man who was detained by immigration custom agents has died after being transferred to Texas. Victor Manuel, a 36-year-old man from Nicaragua, was arrested by ICE agents for immigration violation. According to ICE, contract security found the unresponsive in his room and he was pronounced dead. Remains under investigation. Huh. Guess this cat right here. No, his name was something else. Huh. Okay. Okay, well. Again, private prison. Take them down there to that private prison. That's what all this is about, is they're trying to fill up these private prisons. Oh, man. Fake ship enjoying the games. Oh, my goodness. Green Day to play Super Bowl opening ceremony, okay. Oh, but the big game tomorrow, again, I got the Big Ten. So that's who I'm going with, so enjoy the game. Here's an a little younger than me. Former defensive back Chet Brook dies of cancer at 60. Looks like he played maybe with the Packers. 49ers, 88 draft, played 33 games, starting 23 in 3 seasons, so he didn't even make pension money. But he won 2 Super Bowls, made 2 interceptions in the postseason, including the pick of John Elway. Earned All-Man 189, was inducted to the Texas Black Hall of Fame. He went to Texas A&M. Okay. Won 2 Super Bowls. I don't have a picture of him now. Yeah, they don't have a picture of him. They did back here. Let's see if I can find this picture. Nope, lost this picture. Let's see if I can go back and find this picture. Oh, here he is. Sorry, they don't have a big picture, but I'm not gonna count him. Oh, I took it off. Where'd he go? Here he is right here. This cat right here died. I don't know if I'm gonna count him on our list. Again, I'm looking for more singers this week. Now, if he's up at the Super Bowl, yeah, I would count it. And probably he's probably also sacrificed for the playoffs, which does happen, but we normally just count the Super Bowl weeks. Man, I've been into watching Wolverines and honey badgers in Africa. Man, Wolverine is a bad motherfucker. Let me tell you, I had a videotape of a Wolverine, and this Wolverine was fighting this pack of wolves, but he was like against a tree, so they really couldn't surround him or get an angle on him. And this Wolverine, I watched him take a wolf's eye out. He hit a wolf, and it took the wolf's eye out. He beat a pack of wolves. And later in the video, it shows that wolf where his eye had kind of healed, but it was closed, it was just closed and shit. And the wolves looked over at the Wolverine. The Wolverine's just fucking around in the snow, rolling around and shit. They left him the fuck alone. But I've been watching honey badgers, and a honey badger will fuck up a cobra. I mean, he will fuck a cobra up. I saw a honey badger fuck up what was it? Damn, what was it? It was a hyena, maybe? Was it a hyena? Because he had his lips and the hyena couldn't break the grass. And he had that motherfucker. It was like nothing the hyena or whatever the honey badger had. I forget. Because honey badgers are in Africa, not the badgers that be like Wisconsin. So the honey badger is a little bigger. And the honey badger is a motherfucker because it's like That motherfucker tear the tree apart, get stung a million times, and don't give a fuck. He wants that honey. The honey badger is like a crackhead when it comes to the honey, y'all. He like, fuck this. I don't give a fuck how many times you gonna sting me. I got me a big ass chunk of honey. So crack is like honey is crack to honey badgers, and they'll do anything to get it, and they'll take a million stings. I love seeing those animals destroy the predators. Oh yeah, that motherfucking honey badgers fucking them cobras up. I watched a couple videos where honey badgers fuck some cobras up. Like, they don't even have a chance. Them motherfuckers know right where to get them cobras. And like a lot of animals don't like fucking with badgers because their skin is hard to bite. Like, they can't really bite through it. And a motherfucking Wolverine will fight a bear and don't back up. Bears kind of stay the fuck away from them too. Because it's, you know, it's like, it's smaller game, but it's to get to that smaller game, it's going to take them a lot to get to that smaller game. They ain't going to just be able to grab them without being attacked. Them motherfuckers. Damn, they say Mike Malarkey's. Well, I hope he don't go to the Raiders. Fuck Mike Malarkey. That motherfucker need to be done with coaching. Pennsylvania high school football player dies in his sleep at 18? How? How did he die? He was 18 years old. Damn, how did he die? Medical event. Doesn't really tell how. Doesn't tell how he died. Huh. That's sad. Only 18. Not given a reason. I'm just fucking around now, y'all. It's still early. It's 11. Yeah, I ain't got to get up until about 6:37. Oh, yeah, this was cold-blooded. Let me show y'all this. ICE dines at a restaurant, and then they arrest the staff. They did that here in Minneapolis. They go to this Mexican restaurant, and then they arrest the staff after they eat. So what they did is they went for lunch, and then they came back and arrested the people. That's why where I live, at least 2 Asian restaurants have closed. But that's how dirty they do. They go in there and eat at a Hispanic restaurant. So a lot of the restaurants, the melanated people's restaurants are closing because of that, because ICE is coming in there. I know it's a couple big Asian restaurants near me, and right now they're closed because of ICE coming in town. But isn't that some cold shit? They go in there and eat and then come arrest everybody later. So they was probing. Yeah, dirty. Yeah, they was in there probing. People are all nice to him and shit. Yeah, so, it's a dirty game up here, y'all. And I don't know, it's like the thing about Civil War that we don't understand is you've got a lot of these Europeans that are supremacists. Oh, I'm not going to count him. That will fight with them. So it's like, if you look at sides, who's really going to be on the sides? Let me see, January 11th, no, we're not going to count him. But we should, because they're doing the story, but no, I'm not going to count him. And so that's the problem. That's the problem. It's like, who's going to side with the people? Because we already know, So that's like who is going to be on the people's side, and I don't think as many people is going to be on the people's side as you think. So that's the thing of what we're facing is who's really going to be on the side of the people, and a lot of these people that you would take for granted won't be. Let's see if they're going to show what they're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Road and tech. Okay. This is not what I thought it was about. I thought it was about clothes. It's about motherfuckers working in Detroit. Not about clothes. Ford is giving away Carhartt gear to attract new mechanic hires. Oh, okay. So, hey, you get to wear some Carhartts if you come to our place. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Damn. Wow. Wow. I think my wife's here. I'm hearing. It sounds like my stereo's downstairs, like my surround sound is going. All right, I think that's it, y'all. I think that's all the probing I done did tonight. Again, I went 3 at 1, which is pretty good. That's about 70 plus 80%, so not too bad. I'm picking for next week. I'm picking Seattle and the Pats. And so this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your super funky host. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for if you just watched and you just mentioned. Thank you. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll come on after the game tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I'll come on after the game tomorrow.